You don't wake up dreaming of McDonald's fries. You wake up dreaming of McDonald's hash browns. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Sonoro.
Welcome to
Tamarindo Podcast.
Hosted by me, Brenda Gonzalez, a fitness coach, political nerd, and nonprofit capacity builder.
And me, Delcy Sandoval, a Guatemalan-American licensed therapist and passionate creativity advocate. Together, we're here to uplift our community through powerful conversations with changemakers, creatives, and healers.
Each week on the pod, we talk politics, culture, and personal development. Listeners call Tamarindo the Advocacy and Self-Love Podcast. Vámonos! Let's start the show. Hola, Tamarindo listeners. Welcome to part 2 of my conversation with artist and activist Julio Salgado. We left off discussing artists and songs by bands fronted by female vocalists. In part 2 here, we pick up that conversation with Julio's last pick, Linger by the Cranberries. Plus, we have a really fun time doing our rapid-fire Tamarindo questions at the end. Let's hear from Julio now. Amazing. Did we get through the songs of your list? We've got some great ones here.
So,
and we're gonna I think Linger is the only one that we didn't get to, but
well, that's a good one to
one.
end. That's a good one to end. I think, the Cranberries, that was another song, Linger. I think the Cranberries, and I know the lead singer, Dolores, what was her name?
Dolores. I don't know her last name.
Dolores. They in their music, it was a lot about what was happening in Ireland and the whole thing that was going on over there, and they used music to talk about this issues in a way that was very, like this song was on the radio, Linger was on the radio, and I think this song was about relationships, and again this is a whole through line, but there was a recent cover that kind of picked up the song Linger, and I was like, oh my god, just the way that she sang, and there was something about it, and I remember such a unique voice. But I remember coming across a performance of the Cranberries on SNL, and like I remember just like seeing her sing, but this song, there was like yes,
the melody's so good.
But that was actually when I first started watching SNL in the 90s. I think it was like a repeat. Like it was a repeat, a rerun of that show. But I was really young. And I think SNL was, again, one of those shows that I think now SNL has become like an institution, and there's a lot of critic.
But the 90s was peak.
Amazing.
It was
like
peak.
I think
Will
Ferrell, Molly
Adam
Shannon,
Sandler.
like all
by the way,
those...
great memoir, Molly Shannon's memoir.
Oh,
really?
Yes, oh my god! I've been watching that show, The Other Two on HBO.
Oh, yes.
And she's like the mom. Amazing. Did you see her? Like, because they had the SNL 50 and like Molly Shannon.
I need to see the SNL 50
with Bad Bunny, and like her going like this on Bad Bunny, like perreándole.
I want to see this.
Sketch.
I'll have to pay for it because I don't have.
No, they have on YouTube. If you watch the clips, it's like a lot of them
I gotta see the
there.
Pedro Pascal. I love that man.
It's all about the clips, but like SNL became, I remember watching the performance, and then and it was usually like Mad TV and SNL and like
I also love Mad TV.
Iconic performances. And also it also almost became like my, it's funny how like one thing leads you to another thing. Like I this band catch my eye, this performance caught my eye, and then I stayed for the rest of the show. And at that time it was also like what was happening, with with Clinton, Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky got like, you know, a lot bad, you know, like the bad of it all.
Things came around. Right now we
Things came
realize,
around.
wow, we were such assholes to her.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, to the way that, you know, people were using comedy to make commentary what was going on at the time, you know, it stayed with me, and that to a certain extent, that's kind of what I do.
That's what you do. Yes, absolutely.
Right, listen,
you use your art to comment on society.
Writing funny is hard. Like, it's really hard. Like, I'm like thinking of jokes, especially like this daily sober thing that I do. Now it's like I do them like on Sunday night. I will sit down and like let me draw the 4 of them, because I post one per day from Monday through Thursday. But it's really hard to think of like something clever to say. So writing comedies is hard. I was watching. So right now, if you go on YouTube, you can see the first SNL episode that aired in 79, I think, or 78, or 77. I don't know. Just look it up. It's the first episode. And it looks, you know, it had the sort of, you know, it's kind of the same idea of the SNL that we see now. But some of those skits, like, you know, they were cringy, but it was something fresh that
I did like that they were shorter. We need shorter skits. They were very short,
like a minute and a half. Yeah, like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. But it really, again, right? Like for folks who I think we need humor more than anything. I think right now it's a lot of people say, what is there to laugh about? It's like, I know, but we still have to. We still have, if you know, one of the things that if you get a bunch of immigrants together, especially, and I learned this from immigrant, you know, a lot of activism around immigrants and being around organizers, humor, making fun of each other, making fun of the situation. I think it's gonna be the thing that's gonna, you know, it's gonna help us through this next couple of years. Already, to me, whenever I try to make something funny, you know, with this fool, I just made a funny because, you know, he just posted, or the White House posted, like the new king, him as a king.
Yes,
and I was
did
like,
see
girl,
that.
you're a stunt queen at best. Like, you know, and so I went with that, and then I made like a Titanic. And I'm like, I'm sure like I've heard that joke from another person, but like, you know, you try to make, you know, your own jokes, but it's really funny to, you know, to like, one of the things that I will give to the comment section, like, people will be super mean, but people can be really funny.
Some of them can be
quite
funny. Some of them
are really funny. And so I try to, whenever I put something clever in one of the comments and like I get like a bunch of likes, I'm like, oh, that's an idea for a drawing.
That one worked.
So let me make that into a drawing. So, you know, you never know. But,
I love
yeah,
that.
Humor.
Okay, this has been super fun, and you threw out some. I already know that we both love vibe check. So we had those sort of energies, but we also both really like. Oh my God, you just said earlier, Las Culturistas. So we got those vibes going. So I love it. All right, so to conclude our conversation, I have just really fast, rapid fire questions for you. Okay, super fast. Okay. Who is a content creator that is giving your life right now?
Oh my God, so many. Oh my God, why am I blanking? There's so many people. I wanna name somebody,
and they could be artists, it could be a book, whatever.
Yeah. Why am I blanking?
Because it's a pop question.
I know. It's like okay. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna answer that question by turning on my Facebook, my Instagram.
Yes.
And I'm gonna see what is the first thing. Oh my God. Very Delta.
Okay.
Very Delta. Okay. Delta Work is a drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
And, you know, she Latina, a drag queen from Whittier.
I love it.
Who ended up, she was like in the 3rd or 2nd season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Delta Work is like, and she has a podcast called Delta, Soul Delta, and is that the name of the podcast, Soul Delta? But no, she has a saying that's called Soul Delta, very Delta, and so she just like says the most random things. She has this whole thing where at the beginning of every podcast, she will rant about like normal, like the most random things that we all are thinking about. The one of the latest one that she posted about was how she's like, you know what I hate? I hate it when like you're on the red stop and all of a sudden it turns green and then in an instant somebody behind you will honk at you. She's like,
It's just turned red.
We're all going the same way. And then she's like, but there's just a way that she talks about it. It's like listening to your tia.
I love it.
I love Delta. Yeah, Miss Delta. Yeah, that's one of there's many. But Miss Delta, her little clips that have gone viral. There's another one where she talks about when she goes to Subway and like mayo, and it's just Delta work. Look her up. Very Delta.
Delta's observations sound really fun.
Yes.
Okay, what is your favorite go-to snack?
Oh my God. Okay. If I'm being bad, like they're so bad for you, but like the puffy hot Cheetos, like
the puffy ones. Okay.
They're so good. And if you add
limon.
Limon.
Oh my God.
I know it's very like, I
always put more like limon and then Valentina, even though it's already spicy.
And that's such a like Latino content creator. Like, let's do a video where we put lemon and Valentina on hot Cheetos. But it's really good. But it's bad for you. If I'm trying to be like a little healthy, like a little cup of like green grapes. Like you can go with green grapes or like little carrots with like a little dip. But puffy hot Cheetos,
delicious.
It's horrible for you. Don't do it. But
don't do it.
Do it once in a while. Una vez
al
año no hace daño.
I like that. I like that. Okay, chilaquiles verdes or rojos? Rojos.
Yeah.
Ooh, controversial.
So my husband hates it when I tell this story, but I'm gonna say it anyways because I do say it, and he like makes fun. So the first meal that I cook for my husband, he's vegan, and I'm like, I'm gonna cook my famous chilaquiles. He is very like, let's do everything from scratch. The way that I make my chilaquiles, I have tomato sauce.
Oh, okay.
And then I just pour them. And I fried the tortillas, and he was like, you literally just pour, like, you need to make the sauce. I'm like, girl, we're not going to do all that. So
it's gonna take
ever
hours.
since then, like, he's the cook of the house.
Like, he's like, I'm going to make real salsa.
Yeah, and also because he's vegan and he has like very specific ways. But he's like one of those vegans that like will make me eggs.
Oh,
you know?
that's
and
sweet.
like, he's like, this is your pan for your eggs. Don't mix them with my pan. But like,
I will make you the eggs.
But he makes them. I'm like, okay.
Also
work.
eggs. Ooh, que fancy.
I know.
Whoa.
I know. Costco has if you're a Costco member, go to Costco. You can only like the 18 pack is for like $7.99, but you can only buy
that's
3.
Not bad.
It's not bad. But there's the last time it was like a long ass line.
Oh God.
So, but yeah, I know eggs fancy. That's so what times are we living where eggs having
are luxury.
Eggs are fancy? Oh my God. But yeah.
Okay. Novela that you would binge right now. Like, what's a novela that you would revisit and binge it over the weekend?
Oh my God. So many are coming to my head. Do you remember Cadenas de Amargura?
Yes, I think
Cadenas de Amargura. Daniela Castro was she was a teenager, but basically the premise of Cadenas de Amargura is, this.
What a name.
Cadenas de Amargura. I know, but it's about
That's
your
a good drag queen name, by the way.
Cadena de Amargura. Welcome to the stage, Cadena de Amargura, for La Más Draga. But yeah, so the premise of the novela is like this young girl, she like her and her family and her parents are in a car accident. Her parents die, and then she has to move in with her 2 aunts. And their 2 aunts son bien, una es bien nice y la otra es bien amargada.
Oh.
And so, but there's a plot twist. So you'll have to watch it. I will. I mean,
One of them is the mom.
It's so predictable, no? It's so predictable. But it was like, oh, Cynthia Clitbo was in it. Remember, Cynthia Clitbo?
Yes,
yeah, like this was, she was like a teenager. This came out, I was still living in Mexico, but like it's just the end, like watch the beginning of Cadenas de Amargura and like the song, and it's very, I don't know, there was something about like a novela that went from like, it stars the first episode when you're a little girl, and then like 10 years later, you're like a teenager, and like there was this sort of like your parents might die and you might end up with like family that you don't like.
Yeah.
That was my biggest fear.
It's so scary. All the stuff growing up, the mom or dad dies. Like
why
Bambi,
were we watching that?
Mufasa.
Yeah, a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And but Cadenas de Amargura, and it's a lot of these novelas are available on YouTube if you
Oh my God,
Google
so I
Cadenas
totally
de
can
Amargura.
binge this.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I would watch Corazón Salvaje.
Corazón Salvaje.
But the one from the 90s, because apparently there was a remake. I didn't even know that.
Wait, let's go back to what's your snack that you go to?
Oh, okay.
I know the questions are for me.
Quesadillas.
quesadillas?
I love
Okay.
a quesadilla.
And
It
what
gives me
about
a warm hug.
chilaquiles?
Verdes.
Verdes?
Verdes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I love it. Okay. Then lastly,
Okay.
we're going to end with another set of rapid fire
Okay,
questions,
okay.
really, but something that we do
I'm kind of
always
slow.
here.
I'm like, is it bad that I have to look at the phone to
No,
remember?
no. We want to be accurate.
I
that's
know I
all.
should said a bunch of things, and I think I'm kind of like getting to the point where like, my brain is dying, and I don't remember things.
Time to power up again.
Time to power up, yeah.
Okay. What is your basura of the week? Like something you're throwing in la basura, you're canceling, you're done with. Could be big, could be small. It could be, kind of like in the same veins of like when somebody honks when the light turns green, or gigantic, whatever comes to mind.
Oh my God. These are deep. How do people answer it really fast?
These last ones, yes. I mean,
yeah. Oh my God. There's so many things.
Whatever comes to mind. No right or wrong answers.
Politicians who are creating chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just think, I mean, politicians have created chaos for a long time, but the way that, and I hate to, and one of my things have been that I'm not going to make this person in charge the main character of my story, but she keeps fucking coming. Oh, can we curse?
Yeah, you can curse.
She keeps popping up, and like I'm like, you're just going as you're making things up as you go. And as a Virgo who makes lists, as someone who like, I'm like putting together this event that's coming up soon. And there's so many things that I'm preparing, and I have a checklist and all the things. I'm like, to go at something unprepared. I'm like, you're just seeing what,
¿Quién es esta? Who is this?
The whole administration, the whole current administration, that is, going in. I'm going to focus it on Mr., President Elon.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, really? And not like him as a whole thing, but, going in, and there's so many things about it, but also the way that he's using his children as shields.
As little props.
But also as shield. Girl, is he not using his kids as shield? Because, the Luigis of the world who are like looking to...
Damn,
okay, we're not gonna get into this.
Oh my God. So if Luigi comes around, he's just going to grab a kid.
Well, like,
I wouldn't put it past him. Wouldn't put it past him.
I don't know. We're going to get into like, but I'm like, wouldn't it make somebody who's trying to kill you like think twice if you have your kid? If,
or him doesn't care. Like literally, I'm thinking he's going to get the kid and use them as a shield.
That's trash. To use your children as prop or as potential shield because you are a horrible person. That's basura. Oh my God, it took me. I knew I had it. I didn't want to name the politicians, but it's just like I can't help but.
He's not even a politician.
What the hell is he doing?
He's
just a billionaire who's playing with our country, and the fact that he has access to that, and this person is giving him access. It's a lot. I'm gonna go draw.
I have a basura as well, but mine is totally not. It's so silly. But I don't know if you've read this book. It's called Normal People.
No.
I highly recommend the book. Oh my God, I devoured this book. And there's a series on Hulu, and I'm devouring the series on Hulu. And I'm not no spoilers, but I just got to say that the ending is so unsatisfactory. Like,
okay.
Do they end up together? Don't they? I don't know. It's kind of like Challengers. Did you see Challengers?
Yes.
Like, what is the ending?
I listen to the soundtrack.
What is the ending?
When I go walking?
Amazing
it's so
soundtrack,
good.
right?
Surprised that they weren't nominated for.
I know. What the hell? But yes. Okay. So just like the deeply unsatisfying finale or hauntingly.
So that's what you're trashing. You're trashing the finale of Normal People.
But I do recommend the book if y'all want a good read Normal People.
Okay.
In loose plot, it's basically this couple, a guy and a girl that kind of have this long, tumultuous relationship of will they, won't they, will they, won't they, are they, will they?
Who's the act? I feel like they're...
There's a show on Hulu. It's, oh God, the actor is the guy that is
I'm thinking The Normal Heart. Never mind. I'm thinking The Normal Heart is it's about the AIDS crisis.
Oh no, this is not, it's just tumultuous love relationship.
Hulu's been making some interesting, programming. I'm excited. Did you know the story about Natalie Grace or Natalia Grace?
No.
So it's about this this family that adopts this girl with the disability, and then they find out it was a documentary.
Oh, is this where they lie about her age?
They lie about her age, but then she was like abused, and they're making it into it's a series now with Ellen Pompeo.
Interesting.
And the whole is called American Family or something. But I'm like, it's such a weird, bizarre, and like really sad case. Is it wrong that I want to watch the show? Like,
I mean,
again,
a lot of us are we love mess. We love mess and tragedy.
I feel the same way about the show Mommy Dearest.
Oh,
with
yes.
the lady who killed her mom. And like, it was a good show. And like but it's really sad. I don't know, with me, when it comes to, there's something about people with disability who kind of like fight back.
Of course, it's so empowering.
Maybe that's what I like about that like, because there's a follow-up to Natalie Gray's story and how she's like, scamming her. I don't know. It's messy. But I'm just like, Hulu knows
what the people want. What the people want.
Oh my God. Does that make me part of the problem? Maybe.
Okay. What is your matraca of the week? Something you're celebrating.
Oh, I am celebrating. There's a lot of things to celebrate. I'm celebrating that I'm here, and that in a weird way, I have hope in my community that we are going to continue. It's really hard because a lot of the times you see people fighting each other and like just it's horrible. But I had a meeting today, another project that I'm working on, soon to be, announced. And the people who are part of my community were like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be part of my community. I'm so happy of the friends that I have. I'm so lucky because not everybody can say that. Not everybody can say that. I'm happy that the friends that I have are there for me, and so yeah, I'm that's my matraca, that the community that I have welcomed me continue to embrace me.
And you keep creating. I love that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, similar in that vein, this episode is going to come out in March, and March is Tamarindo's 9th birthday. So that's my matraca. Like, this podcast is 9 years old.
Oh my God.
Which is wild. So I didn't have a kid, but I had a podcast.
Listen, our arts are babies. And when people ask me, like, what's your favorite piece that you've created? What's your favorite? I'm like, is this what parents feel when they ask them who's your favorite kid?
Well, hopefully nobody asks that, because that's cruel.
People ask parents that all the time.
Really?
Like, who's
Which
your favorite?
Is your favorite?
Like, that parents have like a favorite child.
They definitely have one.
Yeah.
They all have one.
Are you the favorite?
Well, I'm the only. So
yes. Okay, you're the only one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm. My brother passed away when I was 11. He was 17.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think I ever felt like a favoritism. But I'll tell you, as an only and surviving child, I am like beyond favorite. I am. My parents think every minute of every day I might die.
Trauma. Yes. No, I can't imagine. But, I joke about it, right? Like, yeah, parents have a favorite. As an adult now, I think that parents love each other differently. The way that you love, like, you don't love all, I mean, we love our friends equally, but you know that this is a friend that you go to for this, or this is a friend that, like, we all have different offerings.
Yeah.
And,
that's a good way
we
to
all
see
have
it.
ways of receiving love as well. So I think that, like, this is something that me and my sister talk about. Like, my sister tells me, he's like, my mom talks to you a certain way. And then I'm like, well, you and my mom have a different relationship that I have with my, it's like, it's very like that. But it, like, if you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, our parents love us, like, they love us as a whole, but like, they love us differently because we are different people. And I think that's okay. I think that's fine.
a good way to think about it.
As long as it's not one of those like toxic, like, why are you like your brother, or why you're like your sister? Like, I mean, I'm sure that those things exist.
Actually, back to the movie, the show Normal People, and the book Normal People, there's a little bit of that.
Is that about that?
It's not. It's mostly about the relationship between this guy and this girl. But part of this woman's traumas is that her family is really mean to her, but they glorify her brother.
I mean, listen, as you know, as a Latino male, I definitely there's definitely those things about like, you know, how mothers over, you know, like, or their sons. I think in my case, because of the whole gay thing, me being gay, I always felt that I had to overcompensate by like always, you know, having good grades and being like, being a good kid. That's
a very relatable experience. I've heard a lot of queer folks identify with that experience.
Yeah. And my sister, who grew up with a lot of disabilities, you know, like I always felt that she had a lot of attention, right? And so like now as adults, like my sister's like, you know, my parents overprotected me, but they let you be, you know, and there's many ways, you know, the fact that I was a man and they were like, he'll be fine, right? Like, so
there's that part for sure.
So maybe I'm like backtracking a little bit, and there's definitely privileges, but I'm actually making the point that parents do love you differently because, you know, there was, you know, especially when you have a child who has like this, you know, different, you know, who's got disabilities.
Yeah.
You know, you are going to treat them differently, right? And so, but I think as adults, it's up to us to kind of like, there's only so much that you can blame your parents.
Right.
It's like, girl, we're in our 40s. We can't, you know, like there was no guide for our parents to be parents, right? And so I think that's one of the reasons why I always feel that, I'm gay, and to have a kid, it's going to be harder. But I'm like, if I really wanted a kid, I would have made plans for that. As somebody who makes plans for everything, I would have planned for that. I do not want to have children. Like,
when there's a will, there's a way. There's lots of ways.
Like
now.
I wanted to be an artist. I made myself an artist. I wanted to share my artwork. I want, you know, like when I put something, you know, I will try my best to do that, whatever it is that I want to do. But I don't know. My hat goes off to parents because I could, in this economy.
Oh, I know. And then, and just to like, shout out to people that really, really are struggling to conceive, because I know that's a real challenge.
Yeah.
When I meant like when there's a will, there's a way. I mean, not necessarily, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of will.
True.
A lot of will and are running through challenges. But there's certainly many avenues now. There's a lot of options to grow a family.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, what is something that's inspiring you? Like an artist or a book or something, some inspiration that's fueling you right now?
Okay. I just finished reading 3 books ago. First in the Family by Jessica Hopi. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly.
Yes, I know this writer.
Yeah, from Nicaragua. She has an Instagram. It's called Nueva Yorka.
I haven't read this book, but I remember reading some of her pieces for Loose Collective when she published a little bit there. So
So the book. I mean, it talks about her own, you know, journey with, you know, recovery, you know, substance abuse. But it's much more than that. The book is about being the first of your family to break cycles, to like, you know, go to college. Or, you know, and the way that she connects it to the American dream, and the American dream being the first addiction. Like, I was like, whoa, like, blown away. Yeah, it was so meta. That. And I reached out to her and I was like, oh my God, like, I'm really, like, I'm enjoying, like, your book is making me think about so many things. She talks about AA and sort of like the way that AA could be, like, AA didn't work for me. I tried that. For me, I needed. Also, I started my sobriety during the pandemic, so people were not meeting in the rooms. So it was a different experience. I went another route. You know, very privileged. I have insurance, so I ended up doing like a program at Kaiser where you know I had a therapist, and so it was very that helped me. But she talks about AA as, you know, being this place that a lot of people, you know, love, but you know, the sort of like that it's not that's not for everyone.
It's not one size
but
fits
also
all.
Like, you know, it's just read the book, you know.
Yeah, sounds like a great book.
I read the book and I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue to do my sober, you know, dailies, because we need more, especially people of color, telling our stories about, you know, of dealing with this issue. So yeah, Jessica Hopi, First in the Family, it just blew my mind.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely add it to my reading
and also
list.
the documentary about Sly and the Family Stone, like, it's just a good documentary. Questlove directed it.
Say no more, Questlove.
Yeah, like Andre 3000 is in it. Dream Hampton, all these beautiful interviews and just, like she's I finished I watched it over the weekend and I was like, oh my God, I need to go make music. I am not a musician, but in my mind I was like, I need to go create something. So and that's my favorite thing, when you read or you watch something and it makes you be creative. That's what I always say. Like, if you ever have writer's block or you know what to draw, go watch something, go read something, go watch a program, listen to what your favorite artist listen to or who are their inspirations, and you'll never know.
I love it. That's like the definition of inspiration. And for me, I want to just, like, so many things give me inspiration, but one thing that I am proud to be part of, there's a great gym. It's called Everybody, and it's a gym that was founded by trans folks. It's a very trans inclusive gym. They're awesome. And I just love the way that beyond the gym, they're really great about celebrating community and culture. And recently they were, for example, amplifying to get folks to go protest. There's a children's hospital that was momentarily pausing their gender affirming care. But guess what? They went back. The protests were effective because they are going to continue to provide that very necessary care.
There's a lot of good people working there. So I'm like, this is going to change because they have good people working there. So a lot of the times we institutions, and then there's the people working in these institutions, and there's good people. There's good people in bad in bad institutions. There are good people. So a lot of times when somebody tells me, "Oh, I'm part of this," I'm not going to judge you if you're part of an organization that I don't like, because you're a good person. And so I'm glad that it went back to that.
So I think my inspiration is just to everybody, because they're beyond the gym. Like, they're doing so much more. It happens to be where I teach on Mondays. I teach a HIT class. So also shout out to anybody that wants to take that class.
I see if I wasn't all the way in Long Beach.
I know. I also teach another class virtual on Tuesdays and Thursdays at a different gym. But all right. With that, I mean, that concludes our awesome, time travel into the past, a little pop culture, a little bit of politics, a little bit of,
I'm
fun.
sorry if I rambled too much and I didn't make sense. And if you want to correct me, leave it in the comments and say, like, Julio, you're wrong. Listen, I don't know it all. I forget things all the time. I'm 42. I'm gonna be 42 in September, but thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm a little older than you. I'll be 42 in July.
Okay. 83 babies.
Yes,
come on now.
83. Okay,
thank you so much for
everybody, ponte un suéter. Ciao.
Adios.
Tamarindo Podcast is Brenda Gonzalez and Delcy Sandoval. We are also the show's executive producers. Jeff Ricards wrote our theme song. Sonoro Media's Karina Riverol provides production support, and Cliva Torres edits our episodes for YouTube. The best way to support our work is to rate and review Tamarindo or share an episode with a friend. Get in touch with us at tamarindopodcast.com.
I'm not going to lie, you're slacking. You're slacking on starting that business you've been holding off on. It's just living in your head. And if you don't act now, that idea is going to leave, or maybe someone's going to take that idea. And there's a tool that I personally use, and that is Shopify. You don't need to be a web designer. You can just start moving, zooming in, adding the text you need, adding pictures you need. And Shopify has so many templates you can use from. Get it out of your head and onto a website with Shopify. Shopify makes it simple to create your brand, open for business, and get your first sell. They make it easy to manage growing your business. They help with details like shipping, taxes, and payments from one single dashboard, allowing you to focus on all the important stuff like growing your business. With Shopify, your first sale is closer than you think. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/sonoro, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/sonoro to start selling with Shopify today. Shopify.com/sonoro.